It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new vlog. It's actually the fall reading vlog where I'm going to be reading fall themed books. Hello. Because obviously the last video I had to do like a segue moment with summer and fall, and now I'm strictly reading the mystery thriller, and I would even include literary in there too. The book I'm currently reading and that we're starting with is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. I'm 100 pages in and it is excellent so far. It's a dual POV, or I shouldn't say dual POV, it's multi POV. We're following the mother Alice and then a camper named Tracy, because it's said in the very beginning that the daughter of Alice has gone missing and they need to find her, and you know there's something spooky going around where her older brother, actually the same thing happened where he got lost in the same said woods. And so we're following Alice, we're following Tracy, who's her bunkmate in the camp, and then we're also getting random other POVs because it's a past present timeline. And y'all know how I feel about past present. I always feel like one timeline is significantly better written than the others, and it's more captivating, and I'm more interested in a storyline. But this time I honestly think I'm more interested in the present timeline, and I think that has to do with Tracy. I'm really liking Tracy's character. I'm really liking how she's written in her inner dialogue. The thing is, I like Alice's POV in the past better than the present. In the past though, we get so many more extra characters POVs on the situation that I'm like, let's go back to Alice though. Hello, that's the mother, come on now. But yeah, that's my thoughts so far. I'm 100 and something pages in, and look at this thick ass book. Like, I'm 100 pages in, hello. And then the second book we're gonna read in this blog for sure is The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. This was everywhere, I think, a few years ago. I'm just late to the game. I was actually convinced I read this book already, and then I checked my story graph and realized no, I have not read it at all. So I wouldn't consider it dark academia, but you know, the artsy deep thinker philosophy hoes like this book and read this book, and I associate those people with fall. I do, okay? They're probably somewhere in Harvard drinking a nice cup of coffee, so, and reading this book. We're following two black women and their sisters. One is white passing and she's off with like her white family, and then the other one is with a black family, and we're gonna see, you know, the differences in how they grew up. And I honestly wanna know, like, are we gonna figure out like how the hell they're effing separated too? Because how the hell did they get separated? But yeah, so we're just gonna go through their adult life and see how their upbringing has, you know, shaped them and stuff. But yes, I will catch you in the next clip. I'm at work having to multitask and do this clip to show my midway thoughts because I just keep on reading. I cannot stop reading. So I have to film this right now because I fear that I might finish the book without giving you a midway thoughts, and I have some thoughts, let me tell you. So I think in the beginning clip, since I had already started the book, I knew we were following the POVs of Louise, Alice, and Tracy. Alice is the mother of the girl who got lost. Tracy is the roommate, and Louise is the head camp counselor of the girl who got lost, aka Barbara. So all three of these women are connected to Barbara in some way. So I mistakenly assumed we're primarily gonna follow their POVs, and then we'll get randos here and there. Each chapter is very short because I'm getting POVs from people I don't care about. I just wish we kind of stuck to specific POVs, especially because Alice, the mother of Barbara, has such an interesting storyline. I think she's really gone through some things, and I need to know more about it, but I can't because I keep going to a detective or Louise and her past with her ex. It's like, I know these people are important in some way, which is why I'm getting their POVs. There's certain POVs that are significantly better. Like, there was a good, probably 50 pages where I didn't even get Tracy's POV, and that biatch got lost. That biatch got lost, and I have no idea what happened. For me personally, right in the beginning, I was like, this could be a 5-star thriller read for me. This is looking really good. It's getting to the point where it might get a 4-star. It's super interesting. I like the idea of the book, so I don't think it'll get less than a 4, especially because I'm so curious about the Van Laar's first child who got lost or killed or whatever the town is assuming. So yeah, those are my freaking thoughts. God of the Woods is done. I actually did finish it the following day, which I'm so happy about. I literally spent a good chunk of my Saturday just finishing this book. Y'all, let me tell y'all my thoughts. Okay. Like I said previously in my midway thoughts, I thought the amount of POVs we were getting was ridiculous. There were certain POVs, obviously now after finishing the book, that didn't contribute anything to the story. I thought some of these characters had more involvement with Bear and Barbara, and even with the Van Laars in general, just to find out No, they didn't. We just got random effing POVs for no reason. I thought Tracy was gonna have more tea on Barbara than she actually did. I'm like so mad. Like, this biatch didn't even know Barbara. And the thing is, if you're really into mysteries, if thrillers, mysteries are really your thing, you're not gonna like this book because the amount of POVs there are is ridiculous and irrelevant. And you just want to get to the who did it portion. I was disappointed, I guess. But I still gave it 4 stars because despite what the other people who DNF'd it were thinking, where like they literally couldn't finish the book, it was a drag, I couldn't stop reading it. I wanted to continue reading and I wanted to know who did it. There were just certain parts that Actually, before I get into the Vanishing half, because I did start it last night, let me continue with my thoughts on the main POVs. We got Alice, who is the mother of Barbara and Bear. Ooh, does she have some problems? And she created the biggest problem, honestly. But my thoughts on her are, it's just very sad, because I'm pretty sure the place they live in is called self-reliance, and that biatch is so reliant on everybody in her life. She was reliant on Bear. The minute Bear was born, she just put her all into him, and that's what she lived for. And then growing up, because they were so wealthy, she never really had to do or try anything. Her life was just kind of set out for her, and she never was going to have to struggle. Okay, I wish we got to know more about Barbara. I really wish we did. And I also kind of wish we got into the POV of TJ. But also, if we did get into the POV of TJ, we would have known exactly what was happening. So, the detective lady, really liked her. Really liked her POV. I was rooting for her. I was rooting for her to solve this case. I won't lie. That's my thoughts on that. Anyway, moving on to The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett is one of the, I think it's a more popular book than God of the Woods. I know God of the Woods, the reason I picked this book is because I was going through the Goodreads Choice Awards or something, and this book won. And then The Vanishing Half is literally freaking everywhere. Everybody loves this book. Everybody raves about this book. So I was like, let me read it, because I thought I had, and I actually didn't. So The Vanishing Half is actually about 2 twin sisters, and they come from a small southern town. It's set in like the 1950s, so segregation is still a big thing, okay? And they're actually light-skinned, and so they can pass as white if they choose not to say anything, but y'all know how this time frame was. They escape, I think, at like 16, because they were working for this white family, and Stella, one of the twin sisters, was like, this is not about to be my life. So both twin sisters move to New Orleans, and they don't tell anybody, okay? So they essentially go missing. We come into this already knowing that Desiree, another twin sister, is back from, I think they've been gone like 10 years. She comes back to town, and she comes back with her daughter, who you can tell is black. Like, she's not white passing at all. She's not fair skinned. So the town is all like, what the hell? Because this town is a black town, but they're full of people who are light-skinned, and they could pass as white if they wanted to. And it's like a whole thing. They need to be the lightest. Like, it's like a bragging sort of term. It's like a light-skin contest, I guess. So it's a big drama that Desiree is back from going missing and coming back with her daughter, okay? And then that's all I know so far, because I'm on the 2nd chapter and I still don't have Stella's POV. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get to know her POV, but what I do know so far is that Stella separates herself from Desiree, and she chooses to live as a white woman, right? So we're going to follow what that's like for her, because Desiree is presenting herself as a black woman. So obviously that comes with its own, set of racial issues, especially in this time period. And honestly, in this current time period too, like, let me be real. But anyway, that's what I have going so far. I am curious to see why Stella decided to do that in the first place, because the little things we know about these twins is they kind of seem inseparable, and they have separation anxiety a little bit. So I'm surprised that Stella is choosing to do this. But also, Stella is written, and the way Desiree speaks about her is she's the smart sister. She's the one who knows what to do. And I hate that they do that sometimes, honestly. That one is dumber than the other, and they don't know how to think for themselves. But anyway, that's what I have going so far. I just really want to know more about Stella's POV, but right now all I know is Desiree's, and I do feel for her. I do. But yes, that's all I have so far. And then let me also do a quick library haul too, because I got some more books. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This would also be perfect for this video, but this video would go on for an effing month and a half because I'm a slow reader. And then I also got, this book was released this year, so I'm pretty stoked I got it this year, because I feel like I'm always so late to the new releases. But R.F. Kuang released Catabasis, and I'm so excited to read this. I don't know anything about it, but I know a lot of her books. Also, look how pretty it is. Girl, Don't play with this copy. Do not play. Look it. Don't play with this copy. I have no idea what it's about, but I did like Babel a lot, so I figured I might as well read that. I still have the Poppy War on my Kindle, and I just haven't read it yet, so that's on me. And then I really want to read this too, because that girl from Wednesday, Enid, I forgot her real name, is the main character in the live action series, and that biatch is a fellow Carrot sister. So I had to support my Carrot sister in all her endeavors. So I'm reading the book first before I start the show, because the show is, I think, a Netflix original. So yes. And everybody talks about how good this book is. I always assumed it was an adult mystery, but it's actually a YA book, which is why this copy is so effing beat up. But yes, that's my thoughts so far. And I will catch you on my midway thoughts. Okay, y'all, the Vanishing half is complete. I ended up giving the book 4 stars because, like I said in my midway thoughts, I thought the beginning took a really long time for me to care about the characters. I don't know, I just didn't find myself invested in the storyline, and I should have. I feel like if I was gonna rate this book 5 stars, I needed to be invested from the very beginning, why these 2 twins got separated and what's the big deal about it. But instead, I didn't end up caring until we got to Stella's first POV. That's when I really started to but that's when I started to really get invested into the story. And then I got even more invested once I realized we were gonna follow Jude's POV, which is Desiree's daughter, now that she was an adult. I think some of the issues I had with it in the ending, I just didn't, I don't know, like, I'm not one to always want a happy ending, but I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get more of their reunion. I feel like there wasn't much information on it. Even when Early dropped her off at the train station, I also felt like I wanted more out of that. I just didn't feel like it got resolved in any way. I just expected a grander reunion. I was just kind of sad that when Desiree's reunion happened, again, when they were at the diner, like, it was just a one-liner of how they reunited and they morphed into one, which was a beautiful line, don't get me wrong. But I was like, damn, I want to know more. Or when they mentioned that they had stayed up all night talking, I want to know what about. Hello? Like, give me some insight. Did Stella fully tell her, like, damn, she's really not been herself for how many years? It wasn't until she finally went back to school, despite her husband being weird and wanting her to be a housewife. Whatever. But I don't know, I just wanted more. And I also thought it was so weird that Kennedy, she's now informed that her identity isn't actually what she thought it was. Like, she's not just a white girl, she is mixed race. And that wasn't seen as a bigger deal. Like, we just got that one scene of her telling, I forgot her man's name. He was a black man, and she told him, like, she's actually mixed. And I thought there was gonna be more out of that, but since he kind of was like, whatever, we didn't really get to hear more on how it impacted her. Like, did it even impact her? I don't know. I think what actually did impact her is that Stella has been lying to her whole life, which pissed her off, and she got to see Desiree and Jude's relationship kind of be what she always wanted her and her own mother's relationship to be like, and it never was. However, what I will say is the cover is beautiful. I can understand why everybody's like obsessed with owning the copy of the book, because the cover is gorgeous. Like, I can't lie. How exciting. I finished my fall reading vlog. I think that both of these books are very fall-esque. That is the video. I would recommend, honestly, reading both books. If you're a huge fan of thriller mystery, don't read God of the Woods. You might be upset. I don't know, because I just feel like if you're a real thriller fan, you're gonna get disappointed with the outcome and with how many effing POVs you get with people who are not related to the story in any way. Like, they don't actually make that much of an impact, so it's kind of a waste of pages. No offense. And then with the Vanishing half, I think if you're just into women's literary fiction, or maybe it's just literary, I don't know. But if you're into that, read this. I also feel like there's some mystery kind of in this book as well, because in the beginning, before we get Stella's POV, you are wondering, where the hell did that biatch go? And then even when you get to Stella's POV, you're wondering, are people gonna clock her? Are people gonna figure out that she's actually a black woman and she's passing as white, right? While I was reading both books, I feel like I was really loving this fall energy, because when I first started God of the Woods, it was like pouring rain. And then, well, actually it's 80 degrees today, so I don't know. But the few days prior to that, it was freezing cold, and it was also pouring rain a few days ago. But then it started to get 80 degrees. I don't know, global warming, climate change is real. We need to take it serious because soon there's gonna be no fall, and then there's gonna be no point in a fall reading vlog because I'm not experiencing fall, and it's gonna be 100 freaking degrees. Yes, that is my video. I can't wait to see you in the next one. I'm thinking it might be a commentary video because I'm working on it right now, but then I'm also getting kind of lazy, so that's my fault. I need to stop being lazy. Oh my God, also that's another thing. I bought my 2026 planner because I buy the Hobonichi planners, and if you guys know about that brand, y'all know they sell them out instantly, and then with the tariffs and stuff, I could not buy it from the actual website because shipping was more than the effing planner. Like, I'm not about to do that, so I had to buy it off of a US store, and y'all will not believe this. I dropped $50 on this effing planner because I got the leather version of it because the color I wanted is the baby blue one. And I didn't realize if you didn't get the leather version, there's litter specks in it. I don't like that. So I went and threw down effing $50 on a planner. But hey, I'm gonna get $50 worth out of it because I'm gonna use it every day. So I really wanna start reading more books in these vlogs, but it just takes me so long to get these actually out. So for now, it's effing 2 a vlog. But hey, soon, trust me on that, soon I will be packing in like 4 books in a vlog. So then these can be an hour effing long and they can be a movie. Which reminds me, Now You See Me 3 is coming out this week, and I better see y'all in the theaters. And that's where I'm gonna end this video. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.